Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We're powered by Advanced Trading. Thanks for joining us today. We're live at 9 o'clock every day, bringing you today's news, breaking it down. Live streams are fun. You never know where it's going to go. We got some nice headlines built for you. Good to see some flash sales come on the books. Brazil, China, soybeans, little headline there we want to talk about. Going to talk about export inspections for corn. Got an upcoming cattle on feed report here on Friday, and maybe a little tariff talk too as well. But got some nice headlines built for you. Grain market, not quite as hot as it was yesterday, but nice overnight price action. We'll see where the rest of the day goes. We'll quote up the markets here for you and dig into the show. So let's go on to LaSalle Street. I'll quote up the markets and we'll bring Connor in. Looking at March corn up 1/4 cent, 4.90 right now. March beans down a penny and a half, 10.65 on the board. Soy oil is a little weaker. Soy meal is up 3.30. Looking over at Chicago wheat, up a penny and a half, 5.60 on March contract. KC wheat up 3.5, 5.79 on March KC wheat. Feeders bouncing back. We got March feeders up $1.80. Looking over at fat cattle, Feb fats are up $1. April's up 57 points. Lean hogs are mixed all over the place. Crude oil is leaking a little weaker, down 40 points. Diesel's down 2.5. Nat gas is up 3 cents. Looking over your equities, the Dow is up 100 points. The S&P up 36. The NASDAQ up 290. Bitcoin down 1,950 at 104,000 on your Bitcoin. Gold's up, silver's down. US dollar, kind of unchanged here on both sides. Cotton's a little weaker as well. So that's quote up of your markets. Went through a couple extra ones. Let's bring in my friend, my pal, Connor B. Come on in here. Welcome to the show, Connor P. How are you doing today, Connor B?
I'm doing great. I feel great. But before we jump into it, I think we got a little update on the Huck Ranch, right? First calf of the year.
Yeah, we do. We had a calf last night, late last night. And it was going to get cold. And I actually, Connor, funny story. I'm going to tell you about this adventure. One, this is a great picture of the cat, Gato, my boy Camden, and the calf brought it inside, put it in the cage. That's the calf's cage, not my boy's cage. Clarification there.
Good.
Okay.
That was my next question. Yeah.
But I go out yesterday evening and this calf's hanging out the back of this heifer, and I'm like, I got to intervene. It's always a tough choice. Do you intervene or do you let nature take its course and see what happens? See if she can do it. Well, I couldn't wait. I jumped out of the Jeep, ran over there. Calf got up. She's a second calf heifer, so not the smartest. That means she's had one calf. She's got one under her belly, but she's not the best mom in the world, Connor B. Yet. She hasn't got it all figured out.
Sure.
But so the cow hops up and she's running through the pasture with the calf swinging behind half out. And they're slippery, they're slimy. I reach to grab it. I slip off the first time. Well, then, and I don't want to make her run, Connor. But anyway, long story short, I had to tackle that calf, bear hug, and hang on it and get it pulled out of there, out in the pasture, and got the calf out. So it was a little rough birth. The mom's not a great mom. I made the executive decision to bring it into the house and get it warmed up for the first night because it was going to be a little cold. But fun experience. We're having fun. Good times.
That's awesome. And what was the temperature roughly when you were doing this?
Yeah, it was, I think we got down to 20 last night, so it wasn't brutally cold, but their ears will freeze off, and, the mom wasn't really doing a great job of cleaning it off, so it was still a little damp, and then that hard birth just made me think. I got my dad. My dad's a vet, and so I can also call him and get a consultation. What do you think I should do, Dad? And he says, take it into the house if I were you. It's like, all right, I'll do that.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. Yep. Good stuff.
Calving season's fun, Connor B, but keeps it real. Love going out and doing that, but it's always, you never know what you're going to get yourself into. And it's a good time. Exciting time because you got a new baby. Kids love it.
Oh, I bet they do. Awesome. Yeah. Well, let's jump into it. Okay. Right. First thing, let's talk a little shipments. We had a flash sale, and then I think we got to talk about the export inspection numbers yesterday, Brady. 136,000 metric ton of corn sold to unknown destinations. And then along those lines, we saw export inspections on corn especially, right? We were outside of trade estimates, 60.7 exported. I think that's a marketing year high if I'm not if I'm not mistaken, and look at that chart in terms of corn shipments, right? We are doing the first of the year, we're bucking the trend so far, right? And stuff is moving out the door, right? We're seeing it on corn. I like the look of that chart. Soybeans, right, was kind of the opposite. We were outside. We were on the low end of trade expectations, outside at 35.8. But very much, when I look at the past 3-4 years, right, we're very much following a trend. It'd be nice to see that last little spike. I don't know. Is that too much to ask to see a little bit more soybeans go out the door? Time will tell. We've got a lot of headlines about tariffs. I think we're going to continue, right? It's Trump's second day in office, and we've got tariff talk on both those days. So,
Yep.
But anyway, corn exports looking really good so far.
Yep. I got another chart for you. We talked about this before the show. Have to pull this one in. You talk about that corn. I got to flash that corn export chart up real quick too. First. So the shipments, that's going out the door. You get those on Monday or Tuesday. That's a good graphic. That's leaving. It's good. Once they're shipped, it's hard to cancel a shipment. Those are great to see them going out the door. This is actual sales, and a great chart from ATI Research. That orange with the triangle line really highlights the front-loaded corn sales on the books and how it's kind of faded off. We need to continue to see sales come in, and we're in that season where we still got that strong corn demand. U.S. is a good supplier of corn, priced pretty well, but we'd love to see that those strong shipments and sales hang in there. We've really seen it fade off since that early season, pre-November front loading of shipments or of sales there. So another point there to point out.
Yeah, that's a great chart, right? Shipment stuff leaving the door, right? You could make the argument that we've seen those sales announced, it's hit the books, right? We need this selling to continue. So yeah, good stuff there. Along those lines, right? Yesterday, first day in office, Trump was talking about tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Today, we're going to talk to China and European Union, but the number is, the story is ever evolving, I guess I'll say, but talking about 10% tariff on China. He mentioned the EU as well, but mostly, right? This is, a much lower number, right, than before he was in office. And now, it feels like there's room for communication, right? Is the threat of tariffs enough to get the conversation started? And do we see a deal in place? I don't know. Right, it's buckle up season with where we're gonna go, but time will tell. I do have a good chart from Farm Doc.
Okay,
just looking at United States and Brazil exports to China, right? And as you can see, we're not in a stellar place. Much better than when we saw the full-on tariffs in 2018, but we still. You can make the argument we've recovered some, but we've lost some business to Brazil, and I don't know if it's coming back. And then same thing here, right? Total exports by the United States and Brazil. United States, we've picked up a little bit. We're pretty much I'd call it constant going back to 2010. Brazil's everything but, right, Brady? I mean, talk about
becoming a much bigger piece of China's soybean supply is what that graphic shows to me. Is Brazil, South America is becoming a much more significant piece of China's soybean supply, where U.S. more kind of that steady Eddie type of deal. We're retaining our business that we have, but it doesn't look like it's exponentially grown quite like Brazil's did on that graphic.
Not
interesting. Yeah.
So
let's talk about the big headline here today out of the gate. What's that one? China halts Brazil soy shipments from 5 firms. Let's talk about this one, Connor B. That's a big one to me.
Yeah. So Reuters reported that we saw China has stopped receiving Brazilian shipments from 5 entities after cargoes did not meet phytosanitary requirements. 2 sources with direct knowledge of the matter told Reuters. So, this is one of those headlines. It could be nothing, right? It could be that we get it. It was a one-off. They targeted the issue and they get it fixed. But when I look at, if we want to be bullish soybeans, anything that disrupts Brazilian soybeans to China, right, that's potential. That's a big deal. So, yeah. I don't. We'll see. Yeah, Chinese customs.
There's a chance, Connor B.
Cargill, Agricola, and ADM.
Yeah, you're telling me there's a chance. That's a headline that says, "Hey, buddy, you're telling me there's a chance." Let's, yeah. I don't know. The Brazilian quality's never, up to snuff with the U.S. type quality. They, wetter type crop, wetter bean, and so that's a big piece of the puzzle. We'll see how that story unfolds going forward, and how it all plays out.
Yep. It was not clear how long the suspension would last. Most traders expected it to be short term. I think I'm in that camp as well. But it really depends, I'm quoting it, how quickly the Brazilian companies can provide proof that they found out what was wrong and led to these inconformities and provide a plan to fix it. So, Interesting headline to see this morning. You never know what you're going to wake up to.
Nope. Keep your eyes on that. Similar note, though, Connor B. Ag Rule reported yesterday that Brazil safrinha corn was 0.3% planted currently versus 4.9% a year ago. Keep your eyes on that headline as we get that Brazil soybean crop out of the field and we get safrinha acres, planted back behind those. If we do late planting of safrinha corn could put it in that drier time frame and less ideal for production. How many acres are going to go in? We've talked about it before, though. Let's rein back the bullish horses here and not get our too far ahead of our skis when it comes to planting delays and putting the crop in. We've seen time and time again where we can produce a big crop and get those acres planted very quickly when the window opens.
Yeah, that took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say, because we saw it in with U.S. planting, Brazilian soybean planting, right? I'm not going to get super bullish on any type of planting delays. We know how fast this thing can go in the ground, but it's something to watch, right? It's very much, it's not like 2019 in the United States where we saw significant planting delays. But guess what? We got the corn planted in late May into June. It wasn't a record, but we had a decent crop. Brazil, it's not so much like that, right? If it gets too late, the rain shut off. So that's going to be one trade's going to be really focused on it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. It's one of those headlines. It's noise too, right? I mean, it's one of those that kind of emboldens your bullish bias. You see the market going up. We've had a heck of a rally in beans and corn, and then you see a headline like that, and you get. It builds onto that euphoria, and you don't want it to do is stop you from executing your marketing plan going forward. Big picture, long-term time frame. We've had a great rally. There's things to be doing out here, and these are headlines. Keep your eye on it, but don't let it weigh too much into your bias and cause you to stall out on executing your plan going forward.
Yep.
Enough of that. We got on Friday, we got a cattle on feed report, Connor B. We'll see trades kind of looking for near to slightly lower on the total on feed number. There's a wide range of guess on placements. We'll actually break that down after the report on Friday. We'll do a post cattle on feed premium content episode for guys that are premium subscribers and break down what's in that report. Back-to-back Fridays, we got a couple big reports. We got the cattle on feed this Friday, and we've got the big cattle inventory report next Friday, Connor. So a couple key reports if you're in the cattle business over the coming weeks.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, let's answer some questions and get out of here. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah.
So here we go. CT guy, MOS and NTR up over 4% this morning. Okay. Good stuff. Should I know what those acronyms are?
Is MOS, is that Mosaic or Monsanto? I think it's Mosaic. I don't know what NTR is. I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
NTR Nutrient. Okay.
Okay. We got the input fertilizer stocks running. I like it.
That's good. Yeah, interesting. I guess if you're you haven't bought your inputs yet going into the season, maybe you don't want to see those. I think there's a lot of talk about some of the fertilizer front appreciating in price. I'd be very interested to know, have you bought inputs for next year? Let us know in the comments if you've booked them and what you think they've done since you've booked them.
Yep. Here we go. Luke, some are thinking Trump will push for a return to the phase 2 trade deal for China. What does that mean for grains and oilseeds? Was there any implications for cotton in that deal? Luke with the cotton question. So
Good questions. Yeah, that definitely seen that headline of resuming the phase 1 trade deal. I don't know if we're on phase 2 yet, but I like where we're going there, Luke. Phase 2, let's kick it in. But yes, definitely. I think that'd be supportive potentially. Seeing that aligning to those standards. I'm not, policy is not my big thing. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but increasing trade with a big partner like China is a great thing.
If we can avoid tariffs and get a trade deal in place, that's bullish grains, right, Brady? To me, I mean, I guess it depends what the trade deal looks like, right? Definitely not
avoid
a policy,
the trade
guys.
war, tariffs, avoid that. Yeah, demand destruction and jockeying. Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. Okay, Farmer Brett, Amazon just hit an
high.
Go ahead, Brady. I think I'm cutting out.
Yeah, you read it though.
Okay. Up 51% in the last year. I hope corn goes up 51% this year since I'm always long corn. Can you guys talk about the difference between commodities versus stocks? That'd be a great topic. I think about that all the time, right? Stocks, it's a buy and hold strategy, generally speaking, right? If you got a 401k, we need to buy something, we need to hold it and let that interest compound. We can't hold corn forever, so it's a little bit different, but I think
you can, but it's usually I mean, you can, Connor.
Good point. I saw a good Twitter thread that was like, "What's the longest you've heard of someone holding grain?" We should pop that up for tweet of the week because it was hilarious. Mostly wheat.
Is it time to sell my 5-year-old wheat, my 2018 wheat crop? Should I sell it yet or not? You've seen $10, $12 come and go. Why sell today? I don't know. Yeah.
I like that, Brett, though, comparing commodities versus stocks.
Yeah. Buckeye Farm Boy here. Pull that one in. 10 below zero here this morning, Buckeye Farm Boy.
But guess what, Buckeye Farm Boy? Ohio State, your Buckeyes are national champions, right? Who cares about the temperature?
We can handle it. Did you see the meme? Not to go off on a tangent here, but the golf cart driver with the quarterback and the coach when they hit the wall.
Oh man,
that'd be embarrassing. But
oh man, it was hilarious.
Quite the clips. I love technology and internet, and to see funny things like that bring joy to your life every day. Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Well,
I think we ought to get out of here, Connor B. Move on down the road. Thanks for joining us today live at 9. We'll be back tomorrow live at 9. Thanks for joining us. Bring some questions. We're here to talk to you, and the show. Thanks for joining us. We'll get out of here. I'll click the button, and we'll see you all tomorrow.